God can use anyone at any time for his purpose. Even in our weakest moments of doubt and despair, God can reach down, pick us up, and use us to reach others for him. This is a true story about God doing just that. It begins in a small church in Chicago with a man by the name of H.G. Spafford. H.G. was a young, recently married man. His wife Elizabeth had encouraged him to come to church service that evening. Elizabeth was worried about him. She was sure he was unsaved.
Dear.
Elizabeth, don't.
Sweetheart, accept Jesus. H.G., you just have no idea what God may have in store for us.
He looked at her and then began to make his way slowly down the aisle, where he accepted Jesus as his Savior. Years later, the Spaffords learned to fully rely on Christ when they lost their home in the Great Chicago Fire, and H.G., a successful lawyer at the time, became financially bankrupt as a result of the fire. With no home and no money, H.G. sent his wife and daughters on a steamer to visit his parents in England, where he stayed behind to rebuild their home.
Girls, I want you to listen to your mother. I'll miss you, but I'll be along soon. I love you, Elizabeth. I love you, girls.
We love you too.
As he watched them leave, he had no idea that he would never again see his daughters.
It was too late when they discovered another ship heading straight for theirs. The small sailing vessel rammed into the steamer's side, ripping it in two. Elizabeth awoke instantly.
What's going on? The ship! Girls, get up! Get up!
She opened the door only to be greeted by angry ocean water.
The ship is sinking! Girls, you have to stay with me. You have to hang on.
Suddenly, another wave swept the boat.
Beth, hang on to Mommy. Beth, please, you have to hang on.
Overhead, the tall mast swayed and creaked in the tossing waves. Suddenly, it cracked. It came down hard, pinning her under it.
Girls, help me. Help me. Girls? Catherine? Anna? Beth? Diane? They're all gone. No, God, please don't take all my girls. No.
Days later, the news finally reached Chicago. And for days, H.G. found himself living in a state of shock. He lived for any sign of hope. Back in England, a small boat docked, carrying the few survivors of the passenger steamer. Among them was an unidentified, unconscious lady. She was carried to the nearest hospital, where she laid for days before she awoke.
Doctor, I need to send a message to H.G. Spafford. The message should say, saved, alone. Tell him it's from Elizabeth.
As soon as H.G. received the message, he boarded the next ship for London. While on board, he spent most of his time thanking God for the safety of his wife. One evening, a cabin steward knocked on his door and informed him they'd soon be passing over the site where his daughters had died. H.G. left his cabin and went to the bow of the ship.
Catherine, you were so much like your mother. And Anna, you were so full of life. Diane, now you were the quiet one. And Beth, you were Daddy's little girl. But you're all gone now. All gone. But I know that you're with Jesus. And it is well with my soul. It is.
Pulling out an envelope, he penned these words.